Chelsea in 2022 according to Football Manager 2017. Chelsea may have been dominant this season under Antonio Conte and his groundbreaking 3-4-3, but much like most teams in this Football Manager series, the Blues are no longer tasting success. During the simulation, they have only won 2 trophies, picking up an FA Cup and an AFL Cup, but not with Antonio Conte in charge. The soft-spoken Italian was given the axe and replaced by Marcelo Bielsa, who won the 2 domestic trophies. That wasn't enough though, and Bielsa was replaced by Massimiliano Allegri, and Chelsea are now managed by Ernesto Valverde, who has just been appointed Barcelona boss in reality. They began the 2022-23 season with a 2-1 defeat to Bournemouth, so let's look at who was in the starting lineup. In goal is Thiago Courtois. Despite being linked with a move to Real Madrid in the real world, this is Courtois' 9th season as Chelsea number 1, meaning he's been a contracted Blue for 11 years, including his 2 years on loan at Atletico. At 30 years old, the Belgian is approaching his peak, like all goalkeepers do at this age, and still managed to put in a stellar performance against Bournemouth despite defeat, which doesn't say much for the defence. At right back is Djibril Sidibe. The Frenchman moved to Stamford Bridge in 2021 from Monaco for a huge £41.5 million. His performances seem to have been pretty good, consistently averaging higher than a 7. Yet somehow he's on the transfer list, with Chelsea wanting only £6.75 million for the defender, with AC, Inter and Napoli all lodging loan bids. If he does leave, the trusty Cesar Azpilicueta is still around, ready to slot in anywhere along the back four as soon as someone shouts Dave. Centre back is Andreas Christensen. A lot is said about the players Chelsea have out on loan and that they'll never get a chance in the first team, but the complete opposite happened with Andreas Christensen. Following his 2 years on loan at Borussia Mönchengladbach, he became a first team regular at Stamford Bridge, picking up 11 Man of the Match awards in the 2017-18 season. The pressure to perform is on though, with Stefan de Vrij waiting on the bench after arriving from Real Madrid in 2021. Next up it's Eduardo Goldeniga. The centre-back clearly can't make his mind up as to whether he prefers to play in the Premier League or Serie A. He left Palermo for Man City, then went back to Italy with Inter Milan. After 2 seasons he joined Chelsea, where he's beginning his 3rd season in London. The English core at the back has gone for Chelsea. John Terry moved into management and is in charge of Barnsley in the Championship, while Gary Cahill is currently looking for his first managerial role. At left back is Lukas Dnya. Arriving at Chelsea in 2018 for £19 million, Dnya has been a consistent performer in the Blues back line as he enters his 5th season, which has meant they haven't really missed Marcos Alonso, who headed to the riches of the Chinese Super League for £24 million, playing alongside some big names at Tianjin Quanyan, such as Willian, who also headed to the east. In holding midfield is Thiago Maia. A relatively unknown midfielder, unless you watch the football at the 2016 Olympics, the Brazilian youngster made the move to Europe when he joined Chelsea for £16.25 million in 2019, leaving Brazil behind at the age of 22. His performances at Stamford Bridge have made him a Brazilian regular, but the lack of competition in the middle of the park at Chelsea means it doesn't really matter if he's good or bad. He's a guaranteed starter for Ernesto Valverde. Next up it's Marcos Llorente. Real Madrid massively dropped the ball here. They sold the Spaniard to Real Betis for just £625,000, and after just 1 impressive season in green and white, he was sold to Chelsea for just under £20 million. His partnership with Thiago Maia has given Chelsea a real solid base in the middle of the park, and it's hard to say why they haven't been more successful in this simulation. N'Golo Kante is no longer with the club, joining Jiangsu in China on a free 2 years ago. I imagine he ran there rather than flying, the machine that he is. On the right is James Rodriguez. You'd expect a player like James to be the most expensive player in this side, but no, he only cost Chelsea £8.25 million from Man City in the most recent transfer window, having spent just 1 season at Eastlands. The Colombian scored Chelsea's only goal in the opening day defeat to Bournemouth, so James might be the man to bring the good times back to Stamford Bridge if his debut is anything to go by. On the left is Eden Hazard. In 2022, Hazard is still wearing Chelsea blue, and of course he's still the main man and the star attraction, boasting incredible stats every season. Averaging almost an 8 rating every year, his best campaign was the 2020-21 season, scoring 15 goals and registering 13 assists, and he stopped kicking ball boys too, so there's been a lot of personal growth as well as footballing growth. Attacking midfield is Bulut Kilic. The first regen of this team, Chelsea paid Ajax 33 million quid for the 22-year-old, with the Dutchman scoring 18 goals and registering 18 assists in his final season in the Eredivisie. And while he didn't match those heights in his first season in the Premier League, it was by no means a Mattia Kezman season, scoring 9 goals and picking up 4 assists. With a rating of 19 for first touch, as well as 18 for passing, vision and balance, Kilic fits in well alongside James and Hazard. And up front it's Borja Garay. A second regen, Garay is a Spanish striker who Chelsea bought from Real Sociedad for £37 million, scoring 10 goals in his first season. The 23-year-old doesn't look to be particularly prolific, with ratings of 13 for finishing and 14 for composure, but he starts ahead of Paco Alcacer, who starts the season on Chelsea's bench, despite also scoring 10 goals last season, as well as 23 the year before, having moved from Barcelona in 2020 for £45 million. Meanwhile, Diego Costa finally left Chelsea, initially joining Man United in 2020, and is now with Juventus, where he is 33 and not scoring many goals, but is still an absolute raj. So that's Chelsea in 2022 according to Football Manager 2017. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and check out Footy Feed for all the latest transfer news and rumours.